On December 26, 2017, Ashley Wilson's parents went to check on her house. But when they arrived, they noticed something rather unsettling. Signs that suggested a carefully planned attempt to electrocute their pregnant daughter.
We just tried to open the door, and the bottom lock, see how you can see it looks like it's been burnt around it, the bottom knob? So I opened put the key in the deadbolt lock, and that turned, and I pushed the door up, and there's something behind it.
And as they began piecing the evidence together, one name kept coming up: Ashley's estranged husband, Michael Scott Wilson, as he is brought into the interrogation room. The truth behind this attempted murder would soon spiral into something far darker than anyone imagined.
The other day she said something about a bomb. She said there was a bomb in her house.
When did she say that?
Last night.
Is Michael a victim, framed by Ashley's family to hide a dark secret? Or is he a cold-blooded man?
Whoa. Ooh. What's that? I don't know, but it popped.
It all took place in Palm Coast, Florida in December of 2017. Ashley Wilson was in Tennessee with her children, away from her 32-year-old husband, Michael Scott Wilson. Their marriage was unraveling, and Michael hadn't lived in their Florida house for months. Therefore, she told her parents to check on her house. However, when they tried the front door, they noticed something unusual. The bottom lock seemed burned. The knob did not turn, and when they managed to push the deadbolt pin back, it felt as if there was something on the other side, pushing the door shut. This was enough for them to take a few steps back and call the police. When the deputies arrived and forced the door open, the scene that they uncovered was far more disturbing than a broken lock, and they were not prepared for what was about to happen. Deputies discovered that a deadly booby trap was built to electrocute someone. They knew exactly who might have the answers. Detectives traced down Michael's phone in Knoxville, Tennessee, and soon, both he and Ashley were sitting across the interrogation table. When the detectives speak with Ashley, she doesn't just describe a failing marriage. She points at a sudden shift in Michael's behavior that hints at something far more serious.
We had an event in October, and he kind of fell out on the floor. It was almost like a seizure or a stroke, almost like a TIA.
Mm-hmm.
And he refused to go to the emergency room that night. And after that event, it was night and day. He started becoming more aggressive. His whole behavior changed, his whole demeanor. Where before he was very patient with Harper, very, patient with me. He would get irritated easier. He would fly off the handle. He wouldn't come home from work when he normally would. He'd stay out later. It was just a complete night and day. He went and saw his primary for the follow-up, and his primary diagnosed him as paranoid schizophrenic, with ADD and high blood pressure. And when he got that diagnosis, it was completely different. He called me and he said, "There's no way this is right. This is quack doctor. You've set me up." For this, barring the last 2 months, he was perfect. Great dad, great husband, great provider, very passive, just a sweet guy. So when he got this diagnosis, he was adamant about wanting to get a second opinion. I said, "Well, there's no neurologist that's going to see you today." I said, "You can go to the emergency room." And so my stepdad and mom called him and said, because I was sick with pneumonia at the time with the baby, and they said they would go with him to the emergency room in Halifax. And he said, okay. So he went and met them at the emergency room, and I guess during that process, he became very irritable, said that he had been kidnapped and drugged there against his will. And when my stepdad and mom left, because they had drove him there, he'd met him at the shop before, he said, "Just call me when they discharge you and I'll come and get you." He never called. He just left the hospital and started walking, and then I think got an Uber.
However, when detectives sit with Michael, little do they know that the version he is about to share will cast doubt on every word Ashley had claimed.
See, they say I suffered from a miniature stroke, a TIA, whatever that
That's
is.
what he told me that. Sergeant Miller did. He said that was that back in October or
yeah,
something?
that's when my mind's got a little fuzzy. But it's coming back to me.
Well, here's what it sounds to me like. Sounds to me like you had some domestic issues, probably put a lot of pressure on you, right? No.
What do you mean domestic?
Well, I mean, is that when you had the stroke? Is that were you
No, I was
fighting with
really
her or
stressed with my
anything?
job, and I was told that if my wife was pregnant, that I would be fired.
Why would that be?
I haven't figured it out. Okay, you have to understand.
So is
I'm
she pregnant?
Yes.
How far along?
She just had her first trimester. She's at the end of her first trimester.
So
So
4 months.
Yeah.
4 months. Okay.
She's pushing 20 weeks. Something like
Okay.
that. Okay. I don't even know where to start, man.
Well, let me ask you this. Obviously, he told me you had like a seizure. And then in the process of checking you out, they realized you had some other issues, stress related. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
That sound fair? Okay.
All right. I come home from work. And,
Now we back in October?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my incident. I come home from work and just been stressed out, whatever. Well, we had ordered Domino's. Got in the shower, got out, and was sitting there sending out some emails for work. And then I just remember this weird feeling come over me. But I had taken some medicine. I take herbal stuff and natural stuff. I have anxiety,
Okay.
so I'm
So
prescribed.
it's something.
I'm prescribed
That's
stuff.
something that you've had for a
this
while.
but this is something that I got at the health food store.
Okay, just natural stuff.
Yeah, it was all natural. But that was not the cause of it.
Okay.
I don't know. I really don't know. That's speculation at this point. But anyway, I just started to feel real weird, and I just remember squeaking out the words to my wife, who was sitting on the couch. And it's just her and my daughter there.
Now, when you say, you also have another child besides the one on its way?
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll be 2 in July 7th.
What's her name?
Harper June.
Now, is she the two of you's child or your child?
No,
Okay.
she's ours.
Okay. Harper June. And she'll be 2 in July?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's there in the living rooms where you're at with the wife?
It's an open area with an open bar right here, and I'm in the kitchen facing the TV, kind of. She's sitting on the couch facing the TV. All I remember was I felt like I got hit by lightning. I got real dizzy,
Okay.
and it was like I was being shocked for like 10 seconds. My knees gave out, and I remember trying to catch myself, but I ripped the towel rack down and hit the ground. And I was a goner. I thought for sure I was gone. I was dead.
Right. Sure.
I remember telling God, hey, this is it.
So they put you in the hospital over that?
No, she wouldn't call an ambulance. I asked her, I said, Ashley, call an ambulance. No, you're fine. She said that since I've married her, she said she's an RN, that she graduated from the UT, from University of Tennessee.
Ashley did? Okay.
She did. I just found out that she did.
She have
Which
any
makes
medical
sense.
training at all?
Not that I'm aware of. I did look up what I could online, and she had a CNA from 2010 to 2014.
Okay. So
Which
she
is
was
just
actually
a nursing assistant, an aid.
Yeah.
Nobody to make the call on to whether or not call an ambulance when
So
somebody.
what ended up happening to you? Did you end up getting medical treatment or what happened?
No, I tried and she said, get up and go to bed. You're not gonna lay in here on the kitchen floor, because like my extremities got cold, and I tingled and I shook violently. I mean, it was bad. I never lost consciousness.
Sounds like a seizure.
But I didn't lose consciousness.
Okay.
She tells me that I had to try to walk. She said, you need to try to walk, which is the most absurd I've ever heard of. Why would somebody who just fell down and had something wrong try to walk? She tells me to go ahead and go lay down in the bed, and I start crawling in there, and she's dog cussing me, telling me I gotta walk. Well, I crawled right in the bed.
Ashley remains adamant about her claims regarding Michael's behavior, and as her story unfolds, the line between truth and deception begins to blur.
The last week or so prior to this, he had begun saying I was trying to poison him. My stepdad was trying to kidnap him. People were out to get him. People were watching the house. He'd become very paranoid.
However, he insists that Ashley and her family have far more sinister motives than he ever did. What Michael is going to reveal next will push the detectives to question everything they thought they already knew.
All right, I go and I walk into the office, and there's her and Cheryl Gailey. She's the insurance lady. they decided they're taking out life insurance on me.
Okay.
They're pushing for $250,000. But this, keep in mind, I'm just basically a bystander at this meeting about my health insurance.
Okay.
I was never asked any prior health problems, questions, or anything. Turns out Cheryl is a friend of the family.
So Cheryl's there just to write the policy.
Right.
Okay. All right. Do you get upset about that?
Yeah, well, I just kept to myself because, I mean, I just thought it was weird.
Yeah.
How you gonna sit and tell me that I don't have any health problems? I just had a TIA. You know what I mean?
So they're writing the policy like you don't. So
Yeah,
you're gonna get
I've
the
never
whole
smoked a
200
cigarette. I'm on antibiotics. At that point in time, I have antibiotics on my desk. Not to mention the slew of other medications that I take.
Okay. So what goes on from there? Obviously.
From there, they write up the policy and blah, blah, blah. I never signed a single thing, not a single document signed. Well, they push it through. The policy was supposed to start at the beginning of the December or the month after. Okay? Not November, but December.
December, okay.
It's supposed to start December 1st. They pushed it through and it started the very next day. And they lied on the paperwork when I got the policy. They said that I was a new hire, that I had only worked there for 60 days. 60 or 90, whichever. Either way, it's a lie.
Okay. So it went effect in October when this went through.
It went effect. I can't remember the exact days, but if you get a hold of the policy, everything's in my car that I need to get to the.
All right. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have any reason not to believe you on that. That's fine. That makes sense. So they pushed it through, and
That was fishy to me. Okay. The very same day after I leave that meeting, now knowing that I have life insurance on me and a target out on my back, I just begin to wonder. And I just think it's strange that my family, rather than to try to get me seen and help, you know, that they just take out life insurance policy. You know, it's like, well, let's just cover our financial assets instead of worrying about somebody's health. So it's fishy, and that's when I began to talk to my father and tell him, hey, Dad, what do you think about this? And he's like, it's not bad. He's like, just change the, I was going to change the policy. So I called her the very same day. This was about 3 or 4 o'clock.
Now, who's paying for the policy? The company?
Not me. I don't know. It never came out of my check.
Okay.
And it was supposed to.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be my insurance policy.
Your insurance
right.
policy.
And after I told my father and stuff, I said, yeah, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call her right now. And I'm going to make you the beneficiary because I can't go to a lawyer right now and draw it up for my daughter to get the money when she turns 18.
But as detectives dig deeper, every answer Michael reveals raises more questions. His version of events clashes with Ashley's, and soon both sides start blaming each other by twisting facts and dragging the case into a loop of contradictions. What started as a search for truth quickly turns into a cat-and-mouse chase, where everyone's story sounds right until it doesn't.
Move me forward a little bit because I really need to get into kind of what they're telling me are some issues here. And my understanding now, have you ever made threats towards your wife?
Never in my entire life. I loved her. I thought.
But yet, when all this is kind of going bad, and
I just kept quiet and just kind of tried to stay out of the way, stay in the background. Like I said, I started locking the doors when I take a shower. I was afraid that she's going to chuck a toaster or something in there with the shower with me.
When did you actually get out of the house? Then, how long ago was that?
I didn't get out of the house.
Or loud. When you moved?
I had another appointment, and see, there was things that brought this on. I kept telling my wife, I don't feel comfortable with this thing. I don't feel comfortable. And when I asked to change the beneficiary that very same day, by the time I got home about 6 or 7 o'clock at night, my wife already knew that I had tried to change the beneficiary.
Right.
Without even meeting with the lady, because she says, I think we should meet up in person and have lunch. And let's talk about it before you decide to change or cancel your.
So obviously the lady called your mother-in-law who told your wife. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is a big violation of privacy.
Sure.
That's fishy as hell to me. And then it goes to my wife's demeanor kind of changed.
When did that happen?
When she found out after she found out the life
insurance. And how did it change? Was it Stone
cold?
Mike?
She wouldn't. Yeah.
Or Michael, I should say.
Yeah, she wasn't. She's never really been on my team.
Now, detectives decide to bring Ashley's father in for questioning. However, his allegations against Michael are destined to add an entirely new layer to this already twisted case.
Can I do anything on my other stuff that he's taken?
What stuff do you take?
My iPhone, my iPad, and a laptop. These were work items. I told him, Michael, if you come back, that's fine. But if you don't, those are my things. And he never came back, so I formally terminated him through my payroll company. And once he's terminated, and I still hasn't returned my stuff.
During the investigation, the police had already found all the missing goods from Michael's car, exactly as Ashley's stepfather described. However, when confronted with the same, Michael reveals something far more disturbing, leaving detectives to wonder if this particular evidence unfolds the entire story, or if they are yet to uncover more.
But anyway, I don't care. I'm not worried about it. If you found it, put it this way: if you found whatever they said that I took or stole in the car, then she put it there over this weekend.
Okay. So you were down here. Were you down there this weekend?
No.
In Florida?
No.
You weren't in Florida?
No. I've been in Ohio and I've been in Tennessee since I left.
And Michael isn't keeping that belief inside the interrogation room. In calls outside, he repeats the same story that Ashley's family isn't just protecting her, but they are targeting him. It seems that he is hell-bent on presenting himself as the real victim and to try and garner sympathy.
I would love to see Harper. I would love to see the kids. But unfortunately, I fear for my life because Jay said the life insurance policy was canceled, and it is not. Everything I have is on recording. Everything I have is on video. So tip me. I am going to the law. It's gotten ugly. I'm sorry, Ashley. I think we could have worked this out, but I don't see us working this out with your family sticking their nose in the middle of it. ATF is after Jay, and I tell you what, it's not looking good for anybody down there, and especially with stuff like this. Only thing I can do is use my rights and show them all of the evidence.
Detectives now face a case that refuses to settle into one version of the truth. That's when Ashley's call with Michael comes into the picture, offering an unsettling glimpse that will change the dynamics of the entire case.
I mean, I've got security cameras in there. I mean, and they record even when they're even not plugged in or anything. So, I mean, if somebody was in the house, I mean, I'm going to know. I want to hear it from you if there's some... What?
No, I am not. I don't know if anybody's been in there. I didn't look at the security cameras. I just seen that you had the app for them.
Okay, well, then there's nothing for me to be worried about. I mean, I just... The bottom line is I don't want to walk in here if something's going to hurt me or Harper, and I don't want to see your face on a security camera after you told me that that wasn't the way it was. I just want some honesty.
You're not going to see my face anywhere because my thing left Ohio or Tennessee. I have not went any further south than West Knoxville. West Knoxville is the furthest I've been, the closest I've been to damn Florida, and that's as close as I'm going to come until that insurance policy and these protection orders are put in place. So, have a good day, and I'll talk to you when I decide to call you back and I'll finish my business.
But Michael's certainly didn't last long. Police tracked his cell phone to Knoxville, Tennessee, where he was found in his car parked outside a local resource center. His story of staying away from Florida was already starting to unravel, and as the detectives began questioning him, it became clear that Michael wasn't just running from the truth, he was rewriting it.
Here's the thing. Don't set yourself up for something bad by telling me you weren't somewhere and then they track your phones. Because, everywhere your phone goes, we can find that out. We pull your records and it shows the towers that they hit.
I did not go to my house on that weekend.
This past weekend, you were not at your house.
I did not go to my house. I was not at my house. No, I drove past to see if there was any weird stuff going on.
Wait a minute, I thought you said you weren't in Florida. Were you in Florida?
I didn't go in my house.
Okay, but you were down in Florida.
Yeah, I drove down there. I drove down there just to see.
Well, wait. Okay, now.
Okay, my landlord lives next door to me. Okay.
All right, but no, wait a minute. Be fair with me. You just said that before Christmas, you met your wife at her dad, her real biological dad. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was before Christmas, a few days before Christmas. Well, Christmas was just Monday. Okay.
I didn't celebrate Christmas.
Okay, I know.
I don't even know which day it was.
But it was Monday.
I couldn't tell you the day of the week now.
And my understanding is that you were probably down in Florida Saturday and Sunday. Does that sound right?
No. When I drove down there, I drove straight there and straight back.
Well, and when did you get back?
The very next day.
When was that?
It took 8 hours to get there, 8 hours to get back.
When was that? But today is Thursday, right?
know.
Well, today's Thursday, the 28th. Monday, yesterday was Wednesday, the day before Tuesday, and the day before that was Christmas Day, Friday, the 25th, Monday, the 25th.
Well, I was there for Christmas.
You were where?
I was here.
Here.
I was at her dad's for Christmas. Okay. So it would have had to been... Well, see, it messes me up because they celebrate their holidays the day before.
Christmas Eve?
And I was back for that, so...
So you think you were back for Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Which would have been Sunday night.
Okay. Then that's, I don't know.
So were you in Florida?
I tell you what, check the phone records and that whatever happened, that happened. As far as that...
So you're saying the phone records will be right. That you were in Florida. So you got did you drive down there and drive back? Is that what you did? Yeah. Been doing this a long time, and I watched you. I think you did more than drive by your house. I think you went to the house.
Okay.
And here's why I said that.
It's my house. I can do whatever I want.
Absolutely. Did you go in the house?
Maybe.
Did you do... Listen, sometimes we do some because we're not thinking straight.
No.
No, but sometimes we do some that we're not thinking straight. Did you? So you did go in the house?
No, I went in the garage.
You went in the garage?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even shut. It was like it had a latch. You know how the motor? Yeah. You just lift it up just like that.
All right. You're a pretty smart guy. You know how these things are played. And I listen,
I don't care whatever you're charging me. You're not charging me trespass in my own house.
No, I'm not. But.
And step by step, his disturbing story begins to unfold. Until finally, detectives put the real allegation on the table.
I'm spending some time with you because they're telling me you did more than that in your house.
Like what?
Like you pretty much set a trap for your wife.
No. What kind of trap?
I thought maybe you'd tell me and we get this above board and not make this a game.
No. I've set no traps for nobody.
Well, this is what I'm being told you did. Is that you set a door up to electrocute your wife.
I set a door up?
Yeah.
This is mine from my boat that I had. That is my charger from my boat, from my 17-foot backpacker.
So that red...
That red, I bought this at Harbor Freight. That's mine. So that's bullshit. I mean, my fingerprints are going to be on that either way. See, that's what I'm telling you. It's not going to push current through it. Do you know why? Do you know how electricity works? Okay, then clearly you know that's a hoax. There's nothing. You could sleep on that door with a wet towel around you. That wouldn't do anything. That's a trickle charger, sir. That's not a jump.
However, when it comes to Michael, he has his own explanation. The trap, he claims, isn't to hurt Ashley at all, but to protect himself. And what Michael is going to reveal next would become a chilling memory in the interrogator's darkest nightmares.
Have you heard from her today?
Yeah, she was very apologetic.
The
other day she said something about a bomb. She said there was a bomb in her house.
She said something to you about a bomb?
A bomb in her house.
When did she say that?
Last night. I don't know if it was by the time she got there. Like I said, my times are kind of messed up and stuff.
But she told you last night that there was a bomb in her house.
Yeah. Last night while she was still on the road going, and then I called
So Jay. How would she have found out about that?
Hell if I know. I'm telling you, they're setting me up.
Yet, police found enough evidence against Michael. Ashley had already reported a disturbing text he sent her stating, "Use the front door when you get back. Just don't let the kids touch it." Inside the house, detectives found more than just the trap. A dismantled salt rock lamp wired into a deadly setup. Lipstick scrawled on the sliding door with two drawn eyes, saying "Hi," and eerie phrases on the walls, like "God is watching, don't look back," and a firearm missing from their bedroom's closet. Along with that, there were sonogram photos of their unborn child lying on the counter, and sticky notes written like love letters were placed on the bed beside a deliberately opened photo album of the couple. Investigators also found Michael's internet searches on electrical setups and survival tactics, raising deeper suspicion. And to top it all off, Michael has changed his Facebook status to widowed, even though Ashley was still alive. The trial began in June of 2019. Prosecutors claimed that Michael had laid a trap that was intended to kill. However, diagnosed as paranoid schizophrenic, Michael said he made the charger to protect himself and not to harm Ashley. In the end, the jury came to a middle ground. They acquitted him of attempted murder, but convicted him of stealing a firearm and misdemeanor attempted battery against Ashley, who was pregnant at the time. For those convictions, Michael Scott Wilson faced up to 6 years in prison. He received credit for time served, and by 2020, he was already out on parole. In the end, justice was served, but one question still lingers. Was this a setup by Ashley's family to trap Michael and get his insurance money? Or did Michael really want to kill his wife?